Chapter 26. There was only a small slice of the moon left in the dark heavens when Ulrich Natter climbed down from his parked cyberhorse. He made his way onto the street and walked through the dim concrete jungle. High above him, neon advertising signs illuminated the night. He turned toward a gloomy side street next to a bank and kept walking, his hands in his pockets. He looked to his right and saw a church with a golden roof. He passed the cheapest noodle and rice shop in the city that was about to be closed, then passed a cafe with people in it and a drug printing store, mostly for those who could not afford a drug printer at home. There was no one on the street when he finally entered an extraordinary building. It had mosaics on the walls and wooden railings embellishing the stairs. It was an old apartment complex. Everyone was sleeping tightly, and his heavy steps were the only sound. He climbed on the roof and sat down in a chair that somebody had left there. The brave man sat there and relaxed his neck, watching the sky. Red and white lights glimmered. A swarm of marvelous aircraft, silently buzzing in the atmosphere like fireflies, traveled across the black anvil of dreams. His breath was heavy. It disturbed the silence of the night, and as he let go, he saw dark shadows appear on the sides of the edges and ledges of the roof. He saw them appear on the opposite buildings and behind windows. The ghosts of dead warriors looked upon him, letting him know that he was not alone. They all had once been summoned by Mother Nature. Death Knights. Another lonely destroyer in a world full of creators. Surrounded by death, Ulrich felt the endless energy run through him. Aware that he was being used by nature, though he could not guess the reason why. But when we call you, you do not come. You do not listen or do not care. Are you aware? He could hear a deep voice in his head, but strangely, it wasn't his brain augmentation or his imagination. No, it was his extra sense. He gazed into the darkness and felt the coldness become stronger. He didn't say a thing, but let the dark energy run through him. Long dead.
Hear what?
Dark energies remained. Ulrich thought to himself. The spirits were there to stay and did not evaporate. They had time. There was something unchanging and ancient in Ulrich. A modern man with an evil soul. The ghosts waited for him to say a word. He knew that what he saw and heard was the other side. The background of his stage. He felt his living body evaporating into it. He didn't have to say a thing. He only had to arrive and collect the dark energy from the spectral beings. Let him in. Let them merge with his soul, even if for just a little while, to let them once more feel the joy of life, to have a heartbeat and a breath, to bring justice and vengeance, for he was a judge of the people. I am probably more machine than any other man on the planet, modified to the mitochondria. But aren't we all nothing but machinery? And in our image, we built them. And I, too, will become like one of them one day. A dark ghost without a mouth coming to see the one that lives. Ulrich Natter started to feel cold in the midst of the night and stood up. He had lost himself. His heavy boots separated the silence of the night as he made his way back to his cyberhorse. He felt tranquility at once when he mounted himself on the horseback.